Hello, my name's Adam Levine. I'm the archivist and historical consultant for the Philadelphia Water Department. And I'm here today on the Schuylkill banks along the east bank of the Schuylkill River, just below the Art Museum. And this area, which is one of the most popular places for recreation in the city, used to look a lot different. To my right used to be a row of factories. Just about right behind me would have been a garbage transfer station where a lot of garbage trucks would have come and dumped garbage on barges. Over to my left, about where 30th Street Station is now, used to be a giant slaughterhouse for the Pennsylvania Railroad where all sorts of animals were butchered. Both of these industrial uses would have been polluting the river. All of the factories would have been polluting the river. Just up in front of me would have been a giant sewer, which would have been dumping the sewage of 500,000 people right here below the dam into the tidal Schuylkill, which was a polluted mess up until the 1950s when that sewer was finally cut off.
The role of the rivers in the life of a city is really hard to quantify. A lot of cities were built right along rivers for being a source of water and a source of power and a route of transportation. Philadelphia certainly was one of those cities. William Penn was granted the entire state of Pennsylvania, but where did he choose his first city? Right on the biggest river in Pennsylvania, the Delaware River. Until the 1880s, people thought that if there was an epidemic, say, of typhoid fever or of cholera, that it was caused by some bad odor, usually of rotting organic matter. They didn't understand that by putting sewage into sewers and putting it into the river, and then by taking that river water out to drink, that we were actually delivering the real cause of disease right into people's homes. In 1901, the city started building a series of 6 filtration plants to purify the water. The water filtration system was completed by 1911, but it wasn't until the mid-1950s that we began collecting and treating the sewage of Philadelphia. Sewage treatment processes have only improved since then. Now we like to say that the effluent of the sewage treatment process, meaning what we dump back into the rivers after treating the sewage of the city, is cleaner than the river water itself. Finally, by the 1970s, with the formation of the Environmental Protection Agency, industrial waste was finally dealt with. The result of all this is that the rivers are now places where you want to be. So we have recreation along the rivers, we have fish and wildlife have come back, not just along the rivers, but in the rivers.
City planners in the beginning of the 20th century had a dream of creating a beautiful strip of parkland on both sides of the river, from the Fairmount Waterworks all the way down through Center City. Unfortunately, the Great Depression put an end to that and to a lot of other of the city beautification plans that planners had come up with. In the 1980s, the Schuylkill River Redevelopment Corporation revived that plan, and that plan is continued now with the Schuylkill Banks project. The goal is eventually to create a riverbank trail all the way down to Fort Mifflin. The work of conservation and restoration is never done, and it's really the responsibility of all of us to make sure that the river and the park stay as beautiful as they are today.